So I haven't done a video in a long while, but I wanted to give an update on the IVIG journey and where I'm at now and what has helped. And hopefully this will help you in your journey if you're starting IVIG or you've been on it for a little while. I've actually been on IVIG a little over 3 years, maybe 3.5 years now. And in the beginning, it was a lot of changes. It was due to shortages of certain type of brands, but also my doctor did some tweaking. You know, I got a bag of fluids to try to help with the side effects, and certain ones were bringing me more side effects. And I finally went on Panzyga was my third brand, and that one actually gave me the least amount of side effects. And it could have been because I had already been on IVIG for a little bit of while, like maybe a couple months. And the main thing I get with that is kind of like I'm allergic to that brand. I get inflamed, like my veins hurt to touch. And you can see my other videos on that. But I don't have a lot of the flu-like symptoms, at least not as bad as some of the other brands out there. So I was still having, some side effects of extremely tired. And I don't know if this is really common, but for me, it's always been the case of it knocks me out. It's almost like an allergy. I get just to a point where even my blood pressure drops. If the nurses come in while I'm knocked out, they always have to redo the blood pressure because they're like, "Are you all right?" It's really low, but it does something to me. And I just get extremely tired and I can just sleep all day. So I was telling my doctor about some of the side effects, and she was saying that I shouldn't really be having any side effects. That's not the purpose of getting it. You don't want to have, being sick from getting an infusion to help you to not be sick. So she wound up lowering my dose to say just getting a little bit will still be helpful, but not maybe getting the side effects from it. She wanted to lower it even more, but I really can't do that. So I was doing infusions every 4 weeks, and she lowered my dose to 20 grams or 200 milliliters. And it's not lasting. So I would feel by the third week more tired, getting sick, getting run down, really I'm on the verge of being sick. And so just recently we've switched my infusions now at the same dose, but every 3 weeks. She had recommended subcutaneous, and obviously I know from hearing from a lot of people that is better because you're getting it every week. You don't get the bad side effects. You don't have this up and down. IVIG is a very peak and then it drops, and so you start feeling bad because it's dropped, where, subcutaneous kind of stays across the board because you're getting it every week. But for me, I can't stick myself. I'm not good with needles. I pass out when they give me the needle. So there's no way I can be sticking myself. So I don't want that option as of now. Maybe in the future I will be able to do that, but I just rather get it in my vein. And also I don't want to put aside time every week and to do that. So I go in and I get it now every 3 weeks, which is kind of, a little bit more of a burden because I got to go every 3 weeks and I have to take off of work and stuff like that. But since I've been on, I think maybe the last 2 times, I've gotten it where it's every 3 weeks, and I definitely can tell the difference because I think when I started to go down and I would wait that extra week when I was every 4 weeks, I would get even worse, on the verge of sick or even maybe kind of sick, and then going in okay, I'm sick, I got congestion and whatever else going on. And so then I'm getting a dose, and it may help, may not help. Sometimes I'm so bad it doesn't really even help. And do it again and then try to last, another 4 weeks, where 2.5 weeks coming, I'm tired and I'm feeling bad. And now that it's every 3 weeks, I can tell I was starting to go down. And I actually thought my insurance wasn't going to approve it. I thought there was some back and forth with that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to wait a whole another week. And I didn't have to. And it made a big difference because I feel like when I'm going down or I'm starting to get down, I got the boost of getting more antibodies in me. And then it's lasting where, you're not so depleted, just getting some, is barely helping. Now I'm not depleted of it all and I'm getting it, so it's boosting it and it's lasting the actual full 3 weeks because I wasn't so depleted is how I feel about it. I have not been sick since I started the every 3 weeks, which right before that, I felt like I was getting sick almost every time I was going in. They're like, how you been doing? I was like, oh, I had an infection, last week or this. And it was constantly, I was going in and I'm like, is this even helping anymore? Because I felt like here I am again. I actually went to my ENT recently, I think twice, like before I started the every 3 weeks. I'm like, this is how it was before infusions, always going in, always having sinus problems. And now I've done the every 3 weeks. I feel so much better. I have a little more energy. I'm not having to sleep as much. I mean, I still obviously your body is, kind of working harder than normal people, and I sleep probably more than most people have to, but I'm not so depleted. So I really think, if you're on IVIG, if you don't have side effects and you get a higher dose, it's probably okay to go every 4 weeks. It's less on your schedule at least, but if you are having the side effects and you want to lower the dose to try to reduce side effects, and if you can make time to go more often, I think that would be better. And obviously if you can do subcutaneous, that probably does make a difference. Like everybody says, the side effects are going to be better and you're going to feel better because you're getting it every week. And so I can kind of feel that now with the every 3 weeks. Hopefully this is my ground of what fits for me, and that everybody's body is different, but hopefully I can make time for the every 3 weeks and still get this a little bit lower dose every 3 weeks, and it have me stay healthy. One other thing that I did notice, even getting IVIG for the first year, I would say once it started working, I had stopped going to the ENT. At least it wasn't bad enough. If I did get sick, like I would get over it quicker because I think I had the better immune system working through the infusions. But any stressful situations that come up in my life, I feel like have made me go worse, or even to an infusion not working. And I talked about this with my doctor, and she said, it's hard to say whether it's the infusions. I said, sometimes the infusions feel like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I didn't know how it felt to feel normal, how normal people can get up during the day and actually just feel normal, and to feel like that was amazing. Even if it was short-lived, even if it was just for a couple days or a week. And then I felt like sometimes I would get an infusion and it did nothing. And she was like, it's not to say like it's the infusion per se, but it could be, something going on or in your life or whatnot. And I really have felt that stress has probably obviously reduces your immune system. And so I think that has hurt. And the fluid intake also may correlate. I know they say that helps with the side effects, and it does, but I really think it also helps with holding on to your infusion. This is a weird thought that I have, but I feel like when I don't hydrate as well, I go to the bathroom a lot after an infusion, and I feel like instead of letting out the water that I drank or all the fluids I'm drinking, I'm peeing out the infusion. And my doctor had said that at one point, that whatever your body doesn't need, you do pee out. So I guess that kind of stuck in my head, and I felt like when I didn't have enough fluids, or I wasn't even drinking enough fluids after or before, that when I'm going to the bathroom, I'm just peeing out the infusion, and it really didn't help, or it didn't last as long or whatnot. Where when I hydrated a lot, not only the side effects are better, I feel like you don't necessarily pee all the infusion out. It may be a weird thought, it may not make any sense, but if you have something similar, let me know, because I just feel like that maybe accurate, maybe not. So anyway, if you have any questions, you're starting IVIG or you're on IVIG and you're wondering about switching your timeline or whatever, you have any questions about side effects, just send me a message. I'll try to reply back to everybody, and I hope everybody is doing well and finding where they fit with their IVIG schedule.